Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, whatever time of the day you happen to be watching us. My name is Samantha, and I am the operator of Starkey Farmstead. So, I need you guys' help. I would like all you preppers, all you prepared and preparing people to drop in the comments, what are you doing to prepare for what is coming? So we all know, watching the news, seeing the fires in California a few years ago, now the fires in Maui, looking at all the different governments, the 2030 agenda, the 3030 state land thing that our president's trying to push on us, looking across the board, we all know something's going to happen, especially if you're a Bible believer and you're looking at Israel right now. So my question for all of you that are watching, what are you doing right now? And not just that, you guys, what are you doing for the future? So you can see I'm out here working because we got our first frost last night. And my hibiscus was hit pretty darn hard, as well as anything else that was a sun-loving plant. It's gone. The corn's still hanging on, but I think we're going to get a freeze again tonight. That should be over in the morning. Everything else except for the fall crops that I have gotten planted is dying. So it got me to thinking, we're in the middle of a season change across the world. You're either going into fall and winter or you're going into spring and summer. Either way, times are changing. There's rumors of war and war all over our world. People being prosecuted and persecuted for their religious beliefs in a free country. People killing themselves in bathrooms, amusement park bathrooms, saying, I just wanted to find the caves. We've got insane people killing innocent people worldwide. We have governments toppling other governments. We have people fighting over oil. We have people having their water diverted by their government, hence Maui. If you've not seen any of our our videos that have been put out lately on what's going on Maui with the water wars. So my question is, we all know that paper money isn't going to hold up. We all know that food prices are going through the roof. We all know that something's afoot. So it's a simple question. What are you doing right now to prepare you and your family? What is it long term that you're aiming for? Because Stephen and I are fixing to purchase our first pelletizer. We just seeded our winter cover crops through here. So as all of this continues to die, I'll come out here and cut it, leave the roots in the soil, drop all the debris back on the ground, and let that die down. Basically using it as my hay next year for my planting, because I do a no-till heavy mulch. It saves on water, you guys. It keeps me from having to worry about my plants not being able to handle 117 degrees like it got here in South Louisiana this year. My garden grew like a beast. Even in a drought, even in 117 degrees, I was still producing food, and a lot of it. So now that I'm figuring that out, I taught myself how to make lard. I can now slaughter and clean rabbits and chickens. I'm a decent hand at helping with pigs and deer. And I can shoot a gun very well, thanks to my dad and my husband. But long term, it's got my mind thinking, how am I going to keep my home heated if I lose power again this winter and I can't get gas for the generator? How am I going to stay warm? How am I going to cook? So I'm looking into different products and different answers to those questions. And I'm looking at prices, and I'm just curious. I know there are people with way more knowledge than me, and I'm a firm believer. If you don't know something, ask. So I am sincerely asking you, the viewer, to help my platform and myself prepare ourselves for what is coming. I do have food storage already taken care of. I can feed me and mine for up to 3 months. So I'm not necessarily worried about that. But I am thinking I'm going to have to put in a second well pump because my first one pulls from 180 foot in the ground and it needs a 220 amp on it. So when I lose power, I lose water. And I only have one large generator, so I have to choose, run the water or run the house. So I can't afford a bigger generator. So at this stage, I mean, I hate to say I can't afford. I don't want to invest the money, you understand what I'm saying, in a second generator system. I would like to problem solve the water. So here in Southeast Louisiana, I can pull well water from where I'm at. So I think I'm going to do a second well, put up solar panels, get the pelletizer, grow my own cover crops, convert that into feed for the animals, and then I'm taking care of two of my major issues. My other one is going to be heating. So I looked into some of the newer stuff they have available, and they had these little ceramic plug-in heaters, and we looked at some of the reviews and we just weren't real pleased with it. So I'm asking you guys, I know of all like the terracotta pot, you know, little room heaters for emergency. I'm talking more sustainable. Like, what can I actually do to heat my house through the winter if I lose power? And I don't mind putting money into it. I just want to hear your suggestions. I want to hear your suggestions on building homemade greenhouses. So we're kind of in the process of that. We need to do a little welding on the framework. And then I'm going to go ahead and order the Bisqueen. But I should be able to grow summer crops in the winter by homemade greenhouse. I pretty much got it down pat where I can feed my animals, you know, the rabbits and chickens that we raise here and the dogs off of what I raise on the farm. It's just, I know changes are coming. I'm trying to get ahead of it. I know we need to get another gun. I'm looking at an AR, so if you'd like to drop your suggestions on weapons, go for it. Drop them in there, you guys. Tell me what type of AR. Tell me what type of bullets you prefer. What is your wife or your husband shooting? What are you comfortable shooting? Why did you pick that weapon? Let's share. For the ones of you that are newer to the idea of preparing you and your family, you picked a good station and a good channel, a good platform to start with. We've only been at this for 2.5, 3 years. So we're not so far ahead that we can't backtrack to our older videos from a year ago and show you where we were and where we came, you know, where we're going. I will show you what we're doing right here with the old rabbitry. If you've been with me for a couple of months, you know that we had 117 degrees this summer. And I had to move my rabbits completely across the property because they were dying in this rabbitry. But we're converting it. Let me go show you how cool and show you what we're fixing to do with that. Cool thing too, you guys, if you'll let your native natural species come back to your property, you know, your dogs will worm themselves. What he's actually chewing on right there is a black walnut. And I used to try to stop them. The German Shepherd does it occasionally. But then I did a little research and realized that they're a little smarter than we are. He's just worming himself. So I'm going to let him go for it. I'm not going to stop him. But you can see right here, we're pulling everything out, right? So if you go back and look at our older footage, and I'll probably drop a clip in here to show you what this used to look like. This was just a lean-to, this front area here. And there was a wall right here that went across. And then this, obviously, was the rabbitry. Now the problem, you would think this is a great place, right? With the trees right here. But the problem is, you guys, that in August at 1 o'clock, this is directly in the heat. And the inside temperature of this will hit over 100 degrees. And I'm not joking. And I had rabbits dying of heat stroke in here. So we nixed this whole building, and see, I've got a thermometer, so I always know what temperature it is in here. We're converting this to a second chicken coop. So the young man that moved in with us, he's 17. He is going to wire all this in, and we're going to use it as a second chicken coop. You can also see where we're extending the back with these metal pole here and the metal pole there. We're going to extend the roof all the way to here and use it part of the way, you know, to put like my farming stuff and the lawnmower and stuff like this here. We're going to move the rabbits to the other side of the property and build, basically put all the pens in a straight row. You see how they're lined up here? It'll be just like that, lined up with the metal roof over them. all along the wood line on the other side of the property where they're in deep shade 24/7 because, you guys, our summers are brutal here. They're brutal. But I've got all this wooded area here on the property. So we're going to make use of the shade that God gave us, and we're going to convert this building for the chickens. So I'm excited. A lot of good changes happening here at Starkey Farmstead. And honestly, I think that's what makes the difference between people who are successful at this lifestyle and people who, I don't want to say fail, but back out of it. People who get into homesteading and farmsteading and they're just like, it costs too much money. It's too much work. I didn't realize it's a mindset, you guys. All of the stuff we're using to build this is repurposed materials. We didn't purchase any of this. The metal, all of this back here is repurposed from other people. The fence posts you're looking at right there stacked up. Somebody changed their 6-foot privacy fence in my mom's neighborhood, and we loaded up 2 truckloads of those boards and brought them here and are learning to repurpose them. It's just saying, hey, don't throw that away. We'll take it. We'll make use of it. And that's what I want you to understand. If you're going to live this lifestyle, cut your credit cards up. Just make a decision that you are not going to waste money. You're going to figure it out like your forefathers did. And if you're wondering what I'm doing, I only have one of this type of hibiscus here, and the seed pods are ready. So I'm picking them off and dropping them in my pocket so I can dry them so I can replant next year. And it's doing stuff like this. It's saving your own seeds, right? This is the only plant of this type of hibiscus that made it here this year through the drought. So I definitely want to keep seeds off this plant because it's proven that it can do it. Little water and a whole lot of sun, but it can do it. So God bless you. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining in with us, rowing in our boat, letting us row in yours. Because of y'all, people in Maui know who we are. Because of y'all, I was able to visit 5 different farms on Maui on that 12-day stay. I was able to donate money to them. I was able to learn about their farm to school and farm to table programs. I was able to learn about nonprofits. I was able to learn about grassroots fundraising. I learned a lot about social media and how I need to up my game a wee bit. I learned how to donate my time to help somebody else see their vision through. And because of God giving us this platform and you guys joining us, those things are now happening. And that's a humbling thought to know that I have people I consider family now halfway around the world. And you guys helped us see that through. So I'm asking you guys to let's help each other begin preparing. Again, I'm asking you in the comments, drop your knowledge. Share. You won't be able to tag like somebody else's YouTube but you can type it out, Don't try to put a link in because it's not going to let you. But what you can do is be like, go here, buy this book, and let's share. Because I think more than ever right now, we have to come together. It doesn't matter what our nationalities are. It doesn't matter even what our religious beliefs are. It does not matter if you're a male or female. I don't care about any of that. I care about, can you take care of your family with what is coming? Can you do it? And I know a lot of people have physical problems or financial limitations. So that's why I said, cut your credit cards up. Let's get on the same page. Let's work with cash. Let's work with recycled materials. Let's figure this out because our forefathers did it. They came here as immigrants. They got land and they figured it out. No excuses. We don't have time for those anymore. We have to really, honest to God, you guys, we have to figure it out, and we have to do it faster, sooner than later, because we are running out of time. we're simply running out of time. Now I'm looking to see how many of my seeds germinated. The greens look great. I'm not really happy with the other seeding. I don't see a lot. That bothers me. I have to figure that out. Put some more seeds in the ground, right? That's always my answer. I never let anything keep me down for long. God bless you guys. We love y'all so much. Welcome to November, and let's get it going, guys. Let's get it done. So our freeze has finally got here. We had our first freeze, you guys, but this is pokeberry. And in the South, well, we call it dangerous. But I will tell you this, your chickens will thank you for it. So what I'm holding in my hand, y'all, is pokeberry. Now, here in Southeast Louisiana, you can make a poke salad, but I don't always recommend it unless you're half starved to death. But if you want the nutrients from this berry, you can eat like 5 or 6 a day for a couple of days and then stop and do it again the next week. It's really good for arthritis. It helps with joint pain. But just to be safe, I have a much better recommended way of getting pokeberry vitamins and nutrients into your diet without risking poisoning yourself. And you do that, my friends, by feeding the pokeberries to your chickens, letting them ingest it because it doesn't make them sick, and eating their eggs. Chicks, come get your pokeberries. Yeah, call them on in, Daddy. Get your pokeberries, girls, get your pokeberries. And you're gonna notice you're gonna be a little pokeberry covered.